Yeah, that sounds like that was it.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. First off, we want to give all praises to
Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakakudash.
the water Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, for allowing us to do the videos through His Spirit. The water Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, for giving us His truth as worms. The one to our apostles and elders at Great Millstone, and salutation and blessings to the hopeful elect. Here again with the Friday lesson. 2026. Is this the first one for the year?
I believe.
What we do?
So let me double check.
Is that one last year? Last week.
Okay.
Yeah. The second one for the year. And 2026 has started off hot. People getting blown up, people getting shot. The civil unrest is rising. The division is rising amongst Americans and like you said in the Civil War. What type of American are you? These type of things are only increasing in this year, and if you have people that are set up in that's so-called leaders and they're not explaining these things which are happening on earth, which majority of them are not, you need to lead these dudes, man, because the spirit of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. The things that are happening in the earth have to be explained by the prophets. If no one's explained that, if your leaders aren't explaining that, then they're not prophets. These are the days of prophecy being fulfilled. The men of Yahweh Shai are very well back on the scene and explaining to you why these things are happening in Venezuela. Why is he talking about going after Greenland? The economy, economics, what's going on in the planet Earth, and what does it have to do with the children of Israel, and where do we stand with our power in these last days? So we got the list. We're going to hit the list. Whoever got it, we'll go from there.
2D.
Okay. I'm just reading all the way down.
Mm-hmm.
Says Bishop Nathaniel says Habakkuk 2:6, where it says thick clay, it's talking about the nations coming to America.
Yeah, he broke that down all wrong.
Yeah, completely incorrect. That's dealing with the debt that America has amassed to itself. This is why it's going around now causing war.
Well, the petrodollar.
Yeah, which is weakening.
The Venezuela thing, right? The threats to Greenland. The Prime Minister of Denmark, she made a response. If y'all do this, it'll be the end of NATO.
Yeah.
Revelation 17 spirit. Esau Edom is about to make the big shift in the world. We're going from that old fiat currency to MLTB world.
Mm-hmm.
So that they're getting their last couple of chips in order. It's open.
It's open.
Because I can hold some before. Who's that?
Come on.
You can get right there.
Okay.
Yep. Before we shift over, Esau Edom is essentially what he called. He's trying to close off loose ends, right? That's what the least is making plans. That movie, One Battle After Another.
Yeah.
Yep.
You watched it?
Yeah, I finally watched it.
Did you like it?
Yeah,
The
Christmas adventures.
The Christmas adventures.
Some shit. Yeah, the Christmas. The elites are spazzing out.
And they're not all agreeing.
Yeah.
It's debacle happening among them.
Can we get? Because I get Micah 2. Just keep it basic.
Oh,
Or the bottle you already there?
No.
Okay. Yeah, Micah 2:1, real quick.
This is Micah chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand.
So these people, these elites, they've been allowed by the Heavenly Father to pull the strings from the shadows, and they're visibly pulling the strings now. So much so, one of the big talking points right now is America's relationship with Israel, right? That land, those people. It's clear that they have a symbiotic relationship to where America is bulldogging everybody for the benefit of Israel. Everybody's starting to get mad now. Jeremiah 51 spirit. These devils, they've been working in the dark. The Heavenly Father has blessed them with lands, power, influence, and they've been using all that to do what? Give verse 2.
Verse 2. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man and his house, even a man in his heritage.
And so now that's the phase we're at. The violent oppression. ICE is in your cities, smoking bitches 3 to the dome. What do he say? Stupid bitch. Oh yeah, and from when because he had his phone, they finally released his footage. The ICE agent in Minnesota, after he smoked her, he heard stupid bitch, and then he backed off.
And what they said, he has immunity.
Record immunity. Okay.
The federal government.
Absolute immunity.
Absolute immunity. The federal government says that, and the state is against it. So, which is going to cause a division between these states and the federal government. Like you have Nate breaking down Habakkuk 2 and 6 wrong.
Horribly wrong. His breakdown doesn't fit. That breakdown only makes sense with it being America's debt. Hence, you see the shit going on in the world.
Even ChatGPT tells you that it's talking about. The Hebrew word there is abaya. It's clay. It's this thick clay. It's debt. It's the Hebrew word when you translate it, the word there is debt. They've amassed themselves a great debt in the earth, and now they're going around causing war because they can't repay that debt. There's no way that
it's time to reset.
Last year, the petrodollar was the weakest currency. That same Vinny brought that out. I said, God damn, the petrodollar was weak last year. The petrodollar is losing strength. So what that entails, America is going to lose strength. And if they start to lose strength, they gotta do something. They're a world superpower.
Yeah, the dollar is losing its hegemony.
Yeah.
Within the earth, and things that are causing it to be weakened, are when nations push for de-dollarization, or doing things like changing, the currency that they purchase or sell oil for their company in. This happened with a few different people within history. Saddam Hussein, he switched it over to the euro, and his within that year, his country was thriving. They were making more money, and then that's when the whole weapons of mass destruction thing came. And they went in. They allowed him to be taken out. The same thing happened with Gaddafi. He wanted to push a standardized, payment or money that was gold.
Yeah, for all of that.
And what did they do? They sent them in to take him out because things like that threatens the dollar's hegemony. So it's no wonder, why they would go into Venezuela, and to, take the president of Venezuela, kidnap him, and hold him within America and try him within their courts. That violates international law, and it also violates the UN Charter, which America is in the spirit of, what do they call it? Duty of conquest. And the duty of conquest is, which just got outlawed in 1949 when the UN was created. Basically, before that, a nation could seize another nation's land after they've taken, warred against them. They had the duty or ability to seize their land. So what we saw take place in Venezuela, that was an invasion. They waged war against Venezuela, and they seized the president, and now what they're going to try to do is put a puppet in there, someone that works in the interest of America, because they can't actually go in there and take the land and take the resources. That would be another violation of the UN Charter. So what they do to get around that is they like to put puppets in place.
Oppression.
Yeah. So you had one more thing. You had Venezuela that was doing a lot of deals with China and other nations. Even in Korea, Kim Jong, said that Maduro was his friend, and that Maduro has a lot of friends around the world. So you had a lot of countries that were benefiting, from Venezuela, but they were doing deals in different currencies outside of the American currency. So that was a threat to the dollar's hegemony. And anytime that you have to use military force in order to, you know, so-called protect or push the policies, you know, or force, you know, nations, you know, to use the dollar as a form of trade, you already lost.
Yeah, and that's what's going. And just to say, hegemony being dominant through leadership, but that's what someone was bringing out. Ariel Shawamba did a video on it. Dude was bringing out because China basically was talking about what happened.
Oh,
and
y'all ain't gonna do that to us.
Yeah, basically, you're not doing that to us. We'll fuck you up. And simple.
They said y'all might shoot the first missile, but we shooting the second one.
And it makes all these other Latino, it makes all these other South American countries afraid. And he was saying it basically defeats the legitimacy of following America because who wants to be ruled with fear and oppression? They want to be reign sovereign and so-called sovereign. But China was saying, look, we'll let y'all do what y'all want. You know, we make our deals and do this, but you coming down with a military force only brings more hate to a country that's already hated by the rest of the world. And these all line up with the biblical prophecy of this place falling, and that the world will eventually hate the horde. And that's what Trump is doing through his pride, through his pomp. He's creating this environment to where everyone's going to hate the horde eventually. This nigga's talking about you don't say, yeah, we're just gonna take Greenland. We're gonna just, Mexico. We want Mexico, Cuba. Like, nigga, what?
All the bitches.
I want all. Yeah, we walking in the club smacking hoes.
Short, yellow, tan.
I want all you hoes. He don't care if they got a man, honey. He taking bitches. He pissing these niggas off. You got a Nabala? And I had to precept after you.
John 10 and 10 says, "The thief coming not but for to steal and to kill and to destroy. I am come that they might have life and that they might have it more abundantly." And that's Esau's nature, man. You know, to be that thief, to come to kill and to steal, man. And like the brother said, no one wants to be ruled in fear, but Esau, when you look at his track record, that's how he's always baked them. Instilling that fear in people to make them serve him.
The red horse.
Yeah.
They didn't say the green horse that make you feel good or the blue horse that make you feel mellow.
Say take peace from the earth.
Red is a natural color of alarm. With that, you don't even have. You could a baby. Red is bad. Red bad. Evil, pain, suffering, blood, terror, fear, and that's how they come.
That's why every villain movie or even in the scary movies, what's the color that you see normally?
Crimson.
Crimson. You look at the movie the clown movie, red. When you look at the movie Insidious, the red door, and the red has always been associated with something bad, man.
The Sith.
Yeah.
Not black. Red.
Yeah, red. yeah.
Not black.
So in the past, it's worked for Esau to be able to rule with that striking that fear.
It hasn't worked. It's because it didn't work in Greece. It didn't work in Rome, and he's trying it again, and it's failing once again. This nigga has tried this same plan 3 times, and it failed. And it only works for so long until the people it's manageable for a little bit till the people lose it. Yeah. Like, you can't fucking do this no more, man.
It implodes.
It's all Esau's kingdoms always implode within itself.
He that ruleth amongst men must be just. Was that Second Chronicles?
Y'all brought it out at camp this week, Elder Shacom. That's how Rome fell. They fell within Rome. All the little insurgents, all the little divisions, all the little divides that were going on in Rome eventually led to this fall. Same thing with this Rome. The dollar was weak in Rome back then. The denarius started mixing it with all these different metals, decreasing the value. The same thing is happening. Once again, we're in the same makeup as the ancient Roman Empire, and this bitch is falling. And these dumb Edomites believe this shit they put on the TV box. Yeah, we're getting the oil. We're gonna be rich again, and we're gonna make America.
You know what Trump said?
Venezuela.
He said that the money would not go into the Treasury, the United States Treasury. He said that it will go into a personal bank account that he will personally oversee.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And I got
Oh,
some.
okay.
And you got the chief, the deputy chief staff. You know, the bald-headed dude who was upset after the CK situation, who said that you don't understand the dragon that you have awakened, which was a prophetic statement. You know, he also just recently said that the world must be ruled with
Force.
with force.
Yeah.
You know, with force. And right here in the book of Isaiah 14:6, it says, "He who smote the people with a continual stroke, he that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth." And that goes into what Ariel was just making a point about. You know, here it is. You can only, you know, whoop somebody ass for so long before they raise up. You know, before they had enough, like Jalen. You know, before they had enough, bro. So these nations are tired of you, you know, ruling over them with force. You know, forcing your way. You know, forcing your policies. You know, forcing your diplomacy, your dictatorship. You know.
Stephen Miller.
This is the same verse, but in the NLT, it says, "You stroked the people with endless blows of rage, and held the nations in your angry grip with unrelenting tyranny." Unrelenting tyranny, you know. And the only way that you've been able to do that for so long is through threat of military action.
Yeah.
And now you're seeing that even your own allies are fed up with it, you know, because shit, they were only your friends because you gave them resources, you know, they benefited from having you, because you do have a great military, you do have a strong military. You know, you got Donald Trump that recently said, he said that there's no NATO without the U.S. And that's true, because they do all of the funding, they give all of the money, and they have the bigger military. You know, and you have to spend money on your military like that. You know, so these nations are becoming mad. You know, and it's just a matter of time before they all rise up against you.
Yeah, because they understand that's not how you do business. You know, that's how they like they say in the world. It's a certain type of way you're supposed to handle business, and certain protocols you're supposed to go by, and they're realizing that America doesn't do that. They do what they want.
Yeah, they do it through force.
2D.
I got a precept, but I also got an article, real quick. Y'all don't mind?
Yeah, get it. We'll come around.
It says, United States President Donald Trump has dismissed international law, saying only his own authority.
That's Daniel.
Yeah,
Only
yeah,
his
yeah,
own.
a
So
little
can
horn.
someone get that for the elder Daniel 7?
720. Little horn.
Yeah, because he's a representative of America. The little horn in Daniel's 7th chapter represents America.
Yeah.
And the representative of America right now is Donald Trump. You know, so this is that same pride, you know, that is spoken about within that verse.
He's the voice of the land.
You know,
As the leader, your sentiment represents your land.
This,
Daniel's, you got it?
yeah, this is Daniel 7 and verse 20. And of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before him 3 fell, which is, you know, France, Britain, and Spain. You know, those 3 wars. It says even of that horn that had eyes and a mouth that speaketh very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows.
Yeah, his look was more stout than his fellows. That's the American Edomite. They're more proud than any other Edomite counterpart. You know what I mean? That's why the Edomites in different parts of the world, whether it's Russia, whether it's Europe, they hate American Edomites particularly because they're proud as hell. You know? And this, well, I got a little bit more. It says, United States President Donald Trump has dismissed international law, saying only his, quote, own morality, end quote, can curb the aggressive policies he is pursuing across the world after the abduction of Venezuela's Nicolas Maduro.
Well, he didn't even do, what is it called? Congressional.
Hearings.
Oh yeah, he bypassed
Yeah,
Congress.
he bypassed Congress.
Yeah, he didn't get approved from Congress to do that.
But check this out.
Yeah.
It say, quote, I don't need international law.
Okay.
I'm not looking to hurt people, end quote. Trump told New York Times on Thursday.
I don't know about that.
Up and down, it says, in the immediate aftermath of the attack, Trump said the United States will, quote, run Venezuela and exploit the country's vast oil reserves, though his
Yeah,
administration...
that's what you call a duty of conquest. But that's illegal.
Mhm.
Because after they designed the UN, it's no more once we war against a nation, we take it over, or we take and seize their land and their resources. So when he said that America will run Venezuela, that's an acquisition of land, through military force, so that breaks, the UN charter, so basically the UN isn't nothing, and that's basically what he's saying, but the UN and NATO was both designed around what was NATO? What year was NATO founded? 19.
NATO was 49. The EU was 57.
57. Okay, so I had it wrong.
Yeah, so the
You know,
EUC 57. Yeah.
So that's the European Economic Community,
yeah.
but the UN itself, which is different. What year was it founded? Was it 49 also?
It might have been. I'm double checking.
What year was the UN founded?
1945.
45. Okay.
45.
So
Okay.
UN comes
So
first.
that was right after World War II. And then NATO was the
49.
alliance of NATO was formed particularly for the same reason.
Yeah.
To basically be like a
Guard.
border, like a border, of nations to pretty much stop what was that, Germany? In Russia?
Yeah.
So we're seeing the house that they built up, crumble. That's a good word. We're seeing their kingdom, dissolve.
It just took a couple decades.
Because this is the time when we're getting ready to get out of here. All right, Yahweh Bashemel Shah is taking Esau's kingdom down so that the kingdom of Yahweh Shah could be established, which is our kingdom by default.
I got 3 sentences.
Yeah, go ahead, and then we play this and get your precept. It's only 2 minutes.
It says, though his administration has said it will cooperate with interim president Delcy Rodriguez, still the Trump administration said it will, quote, dictate policy to the interim government and repeatedly threatened a second wave of military actions if United States demands were disobeyed. Quote, if she doesn't do what's right, she is going to pay a very big price, probably bigger than Maduro, Trump said.
Basically saying that he's gonna kill her.
Wacky.
Basically saying that he's gonna kill her. Yeah,
That's all I got.
They're not extracting, they're whacking.
but Iran just put a $40 million bounty on Trump's head.
It's a lot of money.
Where the Charlie Kirk boy at?
Take one for the team.
Let this play, then we get.
That punish anyone who does business.
This goes exactly what you just read.
The U.S. imposes 3 times as many
Click it
sanctions
for the title.
as any other country or international body. This isn't coalition building. This is pressure application. If you don't comply, you're cut off from dollar-based financial systems. If you try to bypass those systems, you face secondary sanctions that punish anyone who does business with you. And now, as Venezuela demonstrates, if economic pressure doesn't work, military force becomes the next option. But here's the problem. To much of the world, this doesn't look like leadership. It looks like coercion. It looks like threats rather than partnerships. And that changes how countries calculate their interests. Because if working with the United States means you might be the next target when policy priorities shift, why would you tie your economy to American systems?
Yeah. So that goes,
This
that goes exactly what you just said. And, the nations around the world are seeing that. They're like, we're not joining up with you. And which all going to lead to them hating the Lord. I got something real quick that goes with what you read. This is Isaiah 10 and verse. I'm gonna start at
13.
I'll start at 9. But I'll read to 13. I'll read it quick. But at the top heading, it says judgment of arrogant Assyria, and it says, is not Carnel as Carchemish, is not Hamath as Arpad, is not Samaria as Damascus, as my hand hath found the kingdoms of the idols, and whose graven image did excel them in them of Jerusalem and of Samaria, shall not I, as I have done unto Samaria and her idols, so do to Jerusalem and her idols. Wherefore it shall come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and on Jerusalem, I will punish the fruit of the stout heart of the king of Assyria and the glory of his height. So he's high looks, Salaka. He's going around. This is the same spirit that Trump is in. Did not do this. Did not destroy this land. How am I? These motherfuckers are saying that the oil in Venezuela was ours anyway, which Venezuela has more than just oil, has a lot more resources than that. But they're going around with this proud look, and this is going to be his downfall.
Yeah.
Verse 13.
Because Venezuela allowed, American companies to come there and,
Set up
harvest the
infrastructure.
oil. Exxon, Shell, Chevron. Those were particular companies that were working down there and were allowed by Venezuela. So the oil is in the land of Venezuela, a land that doesn't belong to America.
That's right.
So if they told you to get the fuck out, and you can't drill here anymore, and harvest the oil, then basically you have no choice. But this oil is needed by America, and for the purpose of, if it gets into the hands of the countries that are pushing for de-dollarization, such as these BRICS nations, then that's damaging to America, So really, this was to strike a blow to Russia, China, Iran, India, South Africa, all of these different nations that are part of BRICS. This was to strike a blow to them.
I'm going to read the top of verse 12 again, then read 13, because it says, wherefore shall it come to pass that when the Lord hath performed his whole work upon Mount Zion and Jerusalem, then he will punish, the king of Assyria. The Lord is performing this work in Zion and Jerusalem. We're woken up to this truth. We're waking up to who we are. And now, who's being judged? Who's the judgment about to come upon? The wicked. Mm-hmm. Verse 13, and it says, for he says, by the strength of my hand I have done it, and by my wisdom, for I am prudent, I have removed the bounds of the people and have robbed their treasures.
Yeah, the bounds is the landmarks.
Yeah, the borders.
These borders that separate provinces, separate states, separate lands, countries. So remove the borders. Basically, you ignore the international laws. You ignore the UN Charter. You ignore the rules that were set up. You're not supposed to invade an ally. You know, you're not supposed to invade a country without probable cause. You know, but you through your strength and through your wisdom, because you have a strong military, and basically nobody could stop you. Like it states within the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter, you know, who can make war with the beast?
I have removed the bounds of the people, and I have robbed their treasures, and I have put down the inhabitants like a valiant man. And that's Esau Edom right now.
That's their mindset.
That's their mindset. And these, these regular daily Edomites are coming in that same spirit, not knowing that the Lord is about to judge all of you.
Mm-hmm.
The judgment, like it says in Daniel, the 7th chapter, the judgment is set, and I beheld till the thrones are cast down, and the Ancient of Days did sit. The judgment is going to happen upon y'all. You're not going to skate away. You're not just going to slide off into the sunset and receive your new world order, and we're going to make America rich again and all that. All that is just a pipe dream, nigga. You're going to get only so far until the Lord takes his place out.
Y'all two in the middle. Did they go?
Yeah. This is Sirach 10 and 8. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and
In
riches.
verse 1.
10 and 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. No matter man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein.
Yeah, no, there was this dude at my job. It was two Jakes. You know, they was whispering about the whole Venezuela incident. Because, you know, if you say too much, people think you know too much. But I was in the back room, whatever, you know, I was faking like I was working, but really I was listening in. And Jake said, man, what they doing over there, man, that's not right. That's not right. Homeboy like, yeah, man, that's messed up. He said, but you know what? I'm glad that we on the winning side. I'm looking at that shit
You're
like,
not.
what?
Yeah.
He said, I'm glad I'm on the winning side, man.
But that statement backs up that
Yeah.
scripture.
But that's the same spirit that they in. You got it, bro.
Jump back down to 8.
10 and 8.
You start at 7.
You may have won the battle, but you didn't win the war.
Pride is hateful before Yahweh and man, and by both doth one commit iniquity. Because of unrighteous dealings, injuries, and riches got by deceit, the kingdom is translated from one people to another.
Speak up.
Gotten by deceit and also gotten through covetousness. You know, which when you look up the word covetousness in the scriptures, it goes into ill-gotten gains. You know, riches, resources, lands,
Moya.
things got through violence.
Yeah. Repine, taking shit aggressively, ravaging, rifling, assaulting. That's how he shows up. He play fake friendly, right? Don't shoot. I'm friendly. And as soon as you turn around or you go to shake hands, it happened to me again. But as soon as you go to shake hands, I keep, they keep falling for it.
Yeah, he might steal your fingers.
Off your hands. You got another one?
It was interesting as you use the word repine.
Yep.
Now, the word repine goes back to the word rape,
Yep.
which means to seize or to take by force. With the children of Cain, when you read the Josephus, which is just a book of history, it's not the inspired word of the Most High Heavenly Father, but it does have history in it. It says that when the children of Cain grew upon the earth, that rapine increased. They brought rapine, they brought violence.
It said they changed the nature of men from an honest life of working the land to that of theft and robbery. The spirit that is in Esau that goes back to Cain, they are the people that started that spirit in the earth. And you see it in their mindset and their actions.
Now, this is what Wisdom of Solomon says about them. This is Wisdom of Solomon in the 10th chapter, verse 3. It says, but when the unrighteous went away from her, in his anger he perished also in the fury wherewith he murdered his brother. For whose cause the earth being drowned with the flood, wisdom again preserved and directed the course of the righteous in a piece of wood of small value. And wisdom is about to do the same in these times, but it's going to direct the righteous, which is going to be way more than 8 people. Or rather it was one person and his family, his sons and their wives, but it's going to direct, the righteous in this time by way of the chariots of Israel, you know, and the wicked of this age, which is the embodiment, you know, the reincarnation of Cain and his seed, which is Esau Edom. And they have filled the earth with rapine, they have filled the earth with violence. Thus, going into the book of Genesis, the 6th chapter, verse 6, and it repented Yahweh that he made man on the earth, and it grieved him at his heart. And Yahweh said, I will destroy man whom I have created from the face of the earth, both man and beast, and creeping things, and the fowls of the air. And it repented me that I made them. But Noah found grace in the eyes of Yahweh. These are the generations of Noah. Noah was a just and perfect in his generation, and Noah walked with the Most High. And Noah begat 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth. The earth also was corrupt before Yahweh, and the earth was filled with violence. So the Most High Heavenly Father looked down upon that, just as he's looking now. But it has reached a point where he's fed up, you know, and all of the sins of America, you know, the great whore is finally, you know, reached its peak. And Yahweh Bashim Yahushua is ready to destroy, you know, because, you know, the ones that are ruling through America, which are the richly banking families who are Edomites, the scripture says that they are the red horse and they would take peace from the earth.
I got that.
You know, so they fill the earth with violence, they fill the earth with corruption, they fill the earth, you know, with rapine, you know, just as the seed of Cain did back then. But the Lord did what? He brought the flood of water. You know, he's not bringing the flood of Noah again, the flood of water again. You know, Ebo Noah, you know, which designed arcs, you know, for people to get on. You know, they whooped his ass, you know, when they found out that, you know, there was no flood coming.
Rightfully so.
Because Yahweh Bashim Yahushai has said in prophecy, first of all, he gave the bow that he won't flood the earth no more as a covenant. But then he also gave testimony by way of his prophets that it was going to be destroyed by fire. And not completely destroyed to the point where it's uninhabitable. But certain places upon the earth is going to be destroyed. You know, so to escape the destruction, the elect are going to have to go into the spiritual arts.
Oh, and get your second one in there, because I can use this.
Revelation 17, 16. Yeah, and the ten horns which thou sawest of the beast, these shall hate the whore, shall make her desolate and naked.
The whore being America, the 10 horns, EU, NATO, right, which originally was 10 nations, it's evolved into over 20 some. In ancient Rome, you had Rome ruling with its vassal states. In today's time, it's America and EU, NATO. What is the sentiment of the horns towards the whore now? Keep reading.
And shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
It says they shall hate the whore. It says what?
And shall make her desolate
And shall make her desolate and naked, and burn her flesh with fire. So they're gonna go to war, and it's gonna result in thermonuclear missiles being sent towards this bitch.
17 too.
Everybody's gonna pellet it, or what the bar say, pepper it. They're gonna be peppering America for all the shit they've been talking. You got it. 17.
Seize.
For Yahweh put in their hearts to fulfill his will and to agree.
Yep, to fulfill his will and to agree.
For a while.
So these Trump, the elites, and whoever thinks they're pulling the strings, this is all of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua. They're doing his will and to agree.
It said for an hour, from 1958 to 2000. And that time period is over now. That's why shit is through. This ain't your grandma's America. You know, that motherfuckers was proud of, which niggas should have been proud of anyway. But you know, the britches up to your belly button, the dog, a white terrier outside with the corduroys, the slip-ins, with a fucking 64 Cadillac. What's that song? The Cadillac baby.
Oh, okay.
The one that them white boys stole from that Jake woman. What was the name of them three white boys? Fuck it. They stole that song. Cadillac Baby. Cadillac Baby. They stole it.
You an old soul.
Them days is gone. We're in the time of war, right? Bitches out here tricking, selling cat, OF. Niggas are losing their mind and bugging out. Families are betraying one another.
People are being kidnapped.
People is being put in black sites
Yeah.
where the walls are white, but don't nobody know your name. You on cold floors eating fucking bologna, aka bologna sandwiches. It's getting real on the earth, and this was all prophecy.
Like the Belko experiment, when
Yeah.
they were in that building.
Yep.
And that shit ain't no movie. They really doing that to people.
An experiment is a test.
A test.
And the scripture says in Revelation 3:10, it says,
Hour of temptation.
because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will keep thee from the hour of temptation, which cometh upon the earth to try all men.
Yep.
You know, and when you go into that word to try. The word there is periosmo, you know, which goes into a test. You know, so an experiment is a test. You know, and everybody upon the planet Earth is getting ready to be tested. You know, they're coming with that force, you know, lethal force, you know, which during the Democrat, you know, being in office and Biden holding presidency, he signed an executive order saying that the police can use lethal force, or federal agents can use lethal force. Well, you're seeing that being transacted within the presidency of Donald Trump, which goes to show you that both of the two horns that are upon the beast work together.
Got you.
They work together. It's not separate.
The 2D sent it. Nat Rothschild congratulated Trump. I had the picture. He said congratulated because he did a good. Now what?
Because you listened to us. You followed our orders.
It's always been a game.
We told you to march, and you marched in cadence.
You had that dude who he not in the camp no more. When Trump was picking up steam, he used to. I was no, he man, shut up, nigga. Yeah, Trump is on board. You fucking clan, the people of the world.
Yeah,
he saw, tweaking, bro. That X-22 report, that nigga fell off too. You Edomites, y'all thought he was finna run this bitch back. It's not going back to that. The entire ploy was to keep you people just calm enough so they could get a couple more things done, and that's what he's been doing. Now it's time to get that fucking ball rolling, and that's where we're at with it. What you got?
This is Revelation 13.
Here we go. I'm gonna show this picture real quick. Keep talking.
Yep, and send me that picture too.
Yep.
This is Revelation 13 and 4.
11.
It's 11. Yeah.
13, 11.
Okay. It said, it says the second beast, and it said I beheld. And
which this isn't the same as the first beast.
Yep.
The second beast is different from the first beast, but however, the second beast, you know, pushes the same policies, you know, and the same energy, you know, as the first beast, which the first beast was Rome 2,000 years ago.
Yep.
Now, in regards to the second beast, when you read in Revelation, it says that it had power to give life to the image, you know, of the beast, which the image of the beast is this new system that is based upon the same ancient Roman ways.
Customs, the culture,
all
and
right.
laws.
Now it says that he had power to give life into the beast. When you go into the word life, the word there is pneuma. That's where the word pneumonia comes from. Pneuma, which means to breathe, you know, to have air within your lungs.
Respiratory.
But then that word is interchangeable with having life, because if you don't breathe, then that means you don't have life, you know. So you can, it's like having a spirit within them, you know. And this shows you that kingdoms can be reincarnated too, you know. So the Roman kingdom was reincarnated, but however, its tentacles are spread throughout the world, but the capital of it is here within America.
This is Revelation 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast which came up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Yep, the two horns, the so-called in today's time Democratic
The
Republic.
left and the right.
Yeah, left and the right.
The leftists.
Speaking as a dragon, draconian laws, right? The most extreme punishments of the lightest of crimes. And an example of that recently was the Minnesota 3-tap shooting. A simple white woman moving around in her vehicle got her cranium opened up
At 39.
by sub-zero ice cold agents. That is a live example of speaking as a dragon. You do what we say or you die. Maduro getting snatched up and stuffed in Nike Tech. You do what we say or you die. That's our oil. Speaking like a dragon. Greenland, we can lock that down.
In the plane halfway in the cut, talk about, yeah, we don't take Greenland.
Yeah.
Talking shit like this behind the nigga.
Yeah. That's speaking as a dragon. Kazak, what you got?
This is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 7. Babylon has been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad.
And that time period is over. Then decades prior, right after World War II, World War I was setting up the central banks, right? Establishing that. World War II made America a superpower, the creation of NATO, the respawning of the beast. Rome's second wind was America. When America came to power, well, what happened? The countries making deals, making trades, petrodollar set up, everybody is picking their sides. Well, after a couple of decades of absorbing this place's culture, what happens? The women turn to whores. I still remember that famous video, that Persian bitch. Oh my, throwing that mud. That Persian bitch was 20 feet in the air on a light pole. Had the whole city throwing that bitch.
I ain't never seen that today.
Man, what?
We see that shit on the daily.
Yeah, that's Keisha. That's day and
Not
night.
even just Keisha.
Over here, yeah. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. In America in general, whoredom is on such a level it's just normalized.
You go to the east and see a bitch.
Like that video we saw with them too. That bitch that had her chest out in front of them Hemites. Did you see?
I ain't seen that.
Okay. Has anybody seen that? It was two. It was
like a racetrack.
No. She was just a tourist. She was.
I seen that.
Yeah. She was an OF bitch.
Yeah,
she out there
yeah.
with the tour, bro. And the 3 Hemite, bro. They looking. The one nigga, he's like, seriously, like, bro, if it wasn't for you being on that tour, they would have grabbed her and experimented on her, and she wasn't gonna like it. She wouldn't have came back.
Yeah, certain countries you can't even.
You can't do
certain
that.
ways.
No, they ain't never seen a woman dressed like that, bro. The men themselves were dressed from shoulder to toes, like how we're all supposed to be. So to see this broad, fair-chested, back-sided, all out. They were like, yo, what the fuck are we looking at?
You had that one white woman who known for being a whole baddie.
Oh, Bonnie Blue.
Bonnie.
Yeah, Blue. The blonde.
She's been kicked out of the country.
Yeah. You can't come here because you'll spread that.
Yeah, you can't bring that boredom to us.
So that the nations, they're vomiting the shit back up. They're rejecting all the things that they've acquired from America. That's why everybody's so gung-ho against this bitch. Not only against its military, but also against the lifestyle that this place has been propagating. Because it increases degeneracy.
And these nations had to take on those ways
to get access
to American bank accounts so that they could buy, sell, and trade using the American dollar. When it comes down to textiles, which are different fabrics, when it comes down to electronics and mainly, petroleum, gas, oil, those things were sold in the American dollar.
Exclusively.
And because the American dollar was a dominant currency within the world, in order to get access to those dollars and to be able to, buy, sell, and trade, and do that through American bank accounts, through things like the SWIFT payment system, they had to accept America's ways.
You gotta let the Edomites move in.
You had to. So that's Revelation, the 17th chapter, verse 2 through 4. It says, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. You know, so the wine of her fornication being homosexuality, lesbianism, you know, dykeism,
Yeah.
you know, being a mo, you know, accepting, you know, these different policies that America push. All right,
White supremacy.
their democracies.
You need some
You know,
democracy.
dressing like them. You know, sending your kids
Yep.
to
Yep.
their colleges. You know, your daughters. You know, your sons. You know, they're you know, speaking perfect English. You know, they have taken on the habitus of America, which means that they take on the mindset of the way that they think. You know, they solve problems like that. They react
Yep.
to world issues
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
way that Americans react to it. You know, so that's the wine that they drunk of. But what happens when you drink wine and you drink an excess amount of wine? You know, you get drunk to the point where you wake up with a hangover. So we're at the stage now where these nations are waking up with a hangover. And when you got a hangover, you angry. You mad. You know?
What the fuck happened?
Because I get your next one.
This is the last two verses. This is back in Jeremiah chapter.
Is that the other precept?
No, this is the same. That was the whole. That was the
That's it.
Okay, finish it.
Yeah, this is Jeremiah chapter 51, verse 8 now. Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain. If so be, she may be healed.
And that's future prophecy for America. Ancient Babylon in Jeremiah's time wasn't destroyed in some grandiose type deal. It's future prophecy for today's time, and that prophecy gets reiterated in Revelation, letting you know it's referring to a future kingdom, which is America. Finish it.
Last verse. We would have healed Babylon. We would have.
Speak up, fool.
Alright. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go, every one to his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies.
And that's after this mug is destroyed. It also tells you in Revelation 18 that they're going to mourn over her because they can no longer make merchandise. Oh, you got it?
Yeah, I'm in 18.
Yeah. Bala, you got some too? Okay.
This is because this is. I'm gonna start from where you said.
It's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
They love that they're able to run free under, you know, in the name of heathens. Everybody's able to do their thing as much as they hate America and Edomites, right? But in the name of heathen, when the Edomites fall, that's the end of all heathen rulership. The Israelites are getting established. So it's a catch-22. It's a double entendre, whatever the fuck you want to call it. When he falls, they all fall. What you got?
This is I'll start at 11. This is Revelation 18 and verse 11, and it says, "The merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise anymore. The merchants of gold and of silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manners of vessels of ivory and all manners of vessels of most precious wood and all and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ornaments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and breasts
Resources.
and beasts
Resources. All the resources of the world.
and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men.
Our black and brown asses.
The fruit that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee. All things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all.
So when you were in league with America, you had access to all these things.
Yeah.
That's why Arabs have liquor stores, car lots, and insurance companies in your ghetto hood, because they make deals with Edom with America to come set up here so they can get rich. That's why the Goops have the foot places, the hair places, and the Chinese restaurants. If you wanted access to that money, You had to do some things with America. You gonna get rich. Your people gonna be flossing. You gonna be driving Mercedes Maybachs. But now your daughter might go off to become OnlyFans star. Your son might go off to be Malibu's most wanted.
Well, look
right?
at Jackie Chan's daughter. She is lesbian.
Oh, she is.
Yeah, Jackie Chan
Let me
just
look
want the
her up.
fuck out of her. Jackie Chan don't fuck with his daughter.
She funny looking.
She's a lesbian. I don't know.
Okay. But that's an example. Jackie Chan, right? He's from China, and shit didn't turn out good for his daughter. Why? Because he was over here drinking that wine for too long.
Yeah. In Hollywood.
Hollywood.
Hollywood is one of the main places that propagated, that vibration throughout the world. The music industry, the movie industry, and it helped to cultivate that mentality, in all of these different nations around the world, to the point where their great desire was to be Americanized. Yeah. And you even got women in Queensland, Australia, who's saying, is there any black men?
Oh yeah. Oh girl, yeah.
Is there any black men that will be hanging out,
Yeah.
Hey, look,
We can make
that's
that
another
happen.
thing
We
too.
can make that happen.
Hollywood glorified Jake around the world.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So now all of these women around the world want to be with Jake.
Yeah, they looking for an Anthony Joshua in their life.
Michael B.
That's
Jordan.
what they want,
He's
right?
looking for
They're
that.
taking it
Michael
downtown,
And my man Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, Jonathan Majors.
Right.
They looking for the creeds.
Yeah. That's funny.
Talking about some Puerto Rico.
Nahum 1 and I'm starting at 2.
You and Nahum? Perfect.
That'd be about it.
Go to 3 after that, and then we close off.
Okay.
Yeah, Nahum 3 and 17. Go ahead.
This is Nahum 1 and 2.
3 and
It
17.
says, Yahweh is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth and is furious. The Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet.
Which those are them 3-eye atlases and them shit that you keep seeing on a grand scale, and you get scared out of your fucking mind. The aliens, and they're gonna try to use this AI and all this other shit. But these are the angels of the Lord getting approaching this earth to execute judgment, because this judgment can't come as just some little judgment. This judgment has to be grand,
World breaking.
yeah, because the Lord has to save his people out of this. We don't have a military. I don't have a boat. We know how much the cheapest boat I've seen. What you can find?
100 racks.
100 racks.
Yeah, 100
I
racks.
was like, the fuck?
For a week.
It was a regular ass
Yeah,
boat. I was
100
driving
racks.
next to some
Yeah,
truck
100
that had a
racks.
boat on it, and I was like, you know what? How much is it?
No, I'll be 80.
It was
100.
it was the
racks.
cheapest one on the website. Was 100
100
racks.
racks. That sounds about right, bro.
The boats are expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And that boat probably can't get over the ocean. We need the
No,
Lord
you'll die.
to deliver us out of this situation. Go ahead, about
3.
3 and 17.
His Nahum 3 and 17 says, the crown
Die.
are as the
Die. Read over.
Thy crown is as a locust.
It says
It says THY.
T.
And your book is
Nah,
say
it's
THE?
Yeah, Unit 16 and 11. Keep that in mind.
And that
Oh
crown-
shit. Wait, how's it? Is it E or is the
It's
small?
probably got like a dot.
It probably has that dot. It say E in there?
Right there.
The crown is what it says.
Okay, everywhere else it says die. Die crown. Yeah, die.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Okay. Thy crown are as the locust, and thy captains as the grape.
yes,
Yeah.
They fucked up.
Keep going, man.
Yeah,
Start over.
Yeah,
Start
start
over.
over.
It makes
That's
more
all
sense
English.
as die.
Yeah,
That's
all
good.
English.
That's all
Yeah,
good.
it is what it is.
Nahum 3 and 17 says,
Yeah.
thy crown are as the locust, and thy captains as the great grasshoppers, which camp in the hedges in the cold day.
Yeah, all your problems that America is facing is because of the people that are in power.
They're greedy bastards.
Yeah, they're greedy bastards.
They eat and devour.
Yep.
Yep.
They're devouring the people.
Mm.
And the people are wondering, well, the immigrants, the Somalians, the this and that. No, the problem is the
dickhead.
Edomites that are set up in your politicians and your rulers who are lying to you, blatantly lying to you.
And ain't none of them died. We've been looking at the same politics. Nigga, our grandparents been looking at some of the great.
How is
Biden's still alive.
bro? Biden?
Them Supreme Court justices is all still alive.
One dies once in a blue moon. Go ahead, Nabala.
It says, but when the sun arises, they flee away.
Yeah. We didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
Because they point the
When they
Esau.
get caught.
Yeah, they getting caught.
Yeah,
Esau.
like JD Vance trying to defend this ICE agent, you know, that shot the woman in the face, but she was the last one anyway.
Yeah,
If it's a real situation that actually happened, that was judgment from Yahweh by that was shot. But it's a double judgment because it's also putting them in a negative light. And as much as they try to defend them and giving federal agents absolute immunity, that looks bad on them, and it's causing division in this place, and it's going to cause a civil war. But he's basically saying that the one was a part of a network, you know, of individuals, you know, a greater network of individuals, basically saying who bought the brick that got thrown at the agent, and, you know, and who called all of the people that came there. So he's trying to make it seem like it was a conspired event.
That's what
you know.
She was
the bitch was
pulling
from. She was doing a U-turn in front of her crib.
Yeah.
The woman that stepped up, that wanted to check on her, said, "Look, you shot my neighbor. That's my fucking neighbor.
Yeah.
You just shot my neighbor in the face.
I'm at home.
In her
You know,
Honda.
so that was right in front of her own fucking house. But he's trying to spin the narrative. That's what they do.
Yeah.
So when the light is, read that again.
The sun.
It says,
When the sun
when
arises,
the sun arises, they flee away.
yeah, like roaches.
Those are the people that are in power. They're destroying the people. Go ahead.
It says, and their place is not known where they are.
Yep. Keep going.
Thy shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria. Thy nobles shall dwell in the dust. Thy people is scattered upon thee.
Keep going.
It said, it says upon the mountains, and no man gathered.
Yeah, all these Edomites are fucking confused, man. They don't know the left from the right. They don't know who's telling the truth, who's lying. They're confused. That's why it's just about to be an all-out war. That civil war is only increasing. Go ahead.
Verse 19, it says, there is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the root of thee shall clap the hands over thee.
It was the lesson you did.
What? I was reading something.
The lesson you just did.
Earlier
It
today.
said, yeah, all them that hear the brood of thee shall flee away. You just did a lesson.
Was it yesterday or this morning?
I think it was yesterday.
Exterminate the Brutes.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. It was on that documentary. It was highlighting Esau Edom's white supremacy and its effects on the world. How everybody's getting tired of it. It's a good it's on HBO for free. It's decent. Yeah.
Go ahead.
It says, all that hear the root of thee shall clap their hands over thee, for upon whom have not thy wickedness passed continually.
Yep. So that's it right there. And who is Esau's wickedness not touched? Who is Esau not bothered? What does it say in Habakkuk? Neither keepeth at home. And this his desires as death and as hell. Death and hell can never be filled, which is a grave. That's Esau Edom. He's never satisfied in the earth. And this is why the Heavenly Father is going to take this dude out. So with that, all praises be to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Kakadash.
Double honors to our apostle elders at Great Millstone, and salutation and blessings to the whole elect. Kwam Bak Yom.
Kwam Bak Yom.